Welcome to this review of the AudioScape AS78 in the context of electronic music. Right now I have it inserted into this project as a plugin going in out, as you can see. Let's have a listen to what it sounds like just as a line amp of sorts. It has really amazing Cinemag output transformers. So let's listen to what it does to the signal without actually doing any compression. So let me give you a little bit of background here. This came about because I met Chris, who's the owner of AudioScape, at Superbooth recently, and yeah, we started chatting. He's also friends with Lars of Session Desk, who is sort of their distributor in Europe, and they work together. These two companies support each other. Chris is Session Desk distributor in the US, and we just started chatting. I've been working already with Session Desk and Lars for a while, and yeah, I mean, I think what they're doing is incredibly interesting. I almost bought a stack of their devices some years ago, but then life happened. And I was super happy to have a chance to just have a bunch of their devices in the studio here and be able to test them in the context of electronic music. And right off the bat, the AS78 blew me away. I put it in the signal path and the master output, and it was in bypass as I'm showing it to you now. And I was like, especially if you listen to this on speakers, I hope the YouTube audio will do it justice. I was like, what happened? So obviously this device is very heavily inspired by a classic dual limiter compressor from the 70s, built in 79 and used heavily throughout the 80s. Well, till today, it's a very, very wanted piece of audio gear. And let me show you what the compression and limiting sounds like in this track. So on the right-hand side of this little knob here is the wet signal. It's probably a little bit hard to read maybe on the camera. On the left-hand side is the dry signal. And a good thing to know about the way these type of compressors operate is with attack, the further to the right you go, the faster so it's basically the opposite. It's the faster it gets, and the same with release. It gets slower the way the release reacts, the more you turn towards where you would normally expect actually a short release to be. So let's keep listening. Let's do a blend of both. Let's do a bypass. But let me show you just a couple of things that really impressed me about this device. As you probably know, I always run signal analyzers just to be able to show better what's happening. And let me show you something that is extremely rare in the pro audio world. I'm just going to show you what my kick drum looks like, and I'm going to show it to you without the AS78 inserted into the signal. By the way, it's running through Prism Orpheus converter, so really high quality of conversion. And as you can see on my spectrum analyzer, it's a straight line, right? It's a mono kick, obviously. So it's a straight line. But when I put in the AS78 in the signal path, so I've done that now, you see that the analyzer stays exactly the same. And that is a rare feat. I have had various problems with all kinds of devices, old and new, where the curve will sort of do strange things here on the left-right, which is very problematic if you have electronic music with a lot of deep low end, because your kick can all of a sudden wander, or your bass line or certain notes in your bass line can wander across the left-right spectrum. And this is just, it's straight as an arrow. It's unbelievable. Right now it's even in compression mode still. The attack button also functions as a bypass. So if you go all the way down and click it out, which is actually something taken from the original, there's no more compression happening, but you're still running through the Cinemac transformers. And just have a look at how perfectly balanced the left-right side are. This, I think, really goes to show just how well engineered this device is. The company who makes it started out with just Chris and his wife, I think it was 8 years ago, and in that space they've grown to 40 people, and these are still being hand-built in the US. And there's actually, and I think that's a wonderful example, there's one person who is dedicated only to quality control, so every device that they build is tested, and if it doesn't meet the specs, it doesn't get out the door. And yeah, it really shows in the production quality. Okay, so let me step through a few of the ratio settings and a few of the compression attack and release times. And I am going to put it full wet also for this. Do all buttons in mode. Okay, let me do a blend, dry wet. Let me do a bypass from the software so we just hear it really in out. The difference it makes is huge. Like honestly, yeah, I don't know any devices that have like such a right to make such a massive impact on a mix without like really taking a lot away from it. I mean, there's a couple of devices that come to mind. You'll see some in my racks here in the studio, because these are the types of devices that don't leave anymore. So what's my takeaway from this? What can I share with you? Well, first off, a lot of devices are marketed as just put it in your signal path and it'll do amazing things to your signal. I have come across very few devices where that really holds up. And this is one of them, definitely. There's other devices like API, Neve, Louder Than Liftoff. That's the class of devices, Studer, that I've personally heard where, yeah, that holds up. Like, you don't even need to process the signal and already it's doing an improvement. I must say though, I've rarely heard such a marked and stark improvement in the quality and the vibe and mojo of a circuit as is the case here. It is definitely one of the more high-priced devices in the AudioScape lineup, but also it's utterly amazing how it sounds. And I've compared it to the other devices here, but yeah, there's a reason why this one's not leaving. It's shocking how great it sounds on the master bus. It's totally addictive. Like once I got used to using it and I took it off, I was just like, I can't set this thing back. And yeah, and a compliment really to Chris and his team and his wife who have built this device with such attention to detail and such love for the craft. It completely comes through in every part of using it, the quality of the parts used, the way the VU metering is done, the lighting, everything, you know, like they've looked at every detail, every button they've sourced, a lot of NOS components in here to make something that truly is, in my opinion, the next step for this classic device by adding these wonderful additions suggested by Ryan Hewitt, which really take this into the territory where these compressors, I think, really shine in today's digital workflows. Being able to do a blend right here is amazing. And having the sidechain filter on it is also amazing. All the build quality feels, the whole device, it's a joy to use, but the most important thing is it's built like a tank. It's super solid. It's absolutely precise, as you could see from the spectrum analyzer, and it sounds amazing. So can I recommend this for electronic music production? Hell yeah. This is not leaving my studio anymore. So yes, I hope that this has been helpful for you as a review of this device for electronic music. You can get these, of course, in the States and now also through Lars in Europe with full warranty, none of the import hassles and all that stuff, at super fair prices. I honestly don't know how they're able to build these devices at that price. Yeah, if you're interested in what you heard today, this is a template. This is based on a template. This is my live set, but this is based on the Infinity Bundle, which is something that my company does, which you can see here. And it's a production template. For example, the mastering chain you're seeing here is our new mid-side mastering chain done in collaboration with Earthbound Mastering. We offer this at rapidflow.shop. You can get it for Ableton, Bitwig, FL Studio, and Logic. It's just a really fast way to produce and to get really quality, punchy, loud results quick. As you could hear, this is a track that's still at the idea stage, but because of the way we've set up this template, I'm able to interface with it live as well as get a really loud, clean, punchy sound. So I'm just going to jam with this track a bit more, let you listen to the AS78, and that will be it for me today. I hope you have a great time in the studio. I hope you're doing well. If you're in the north, I hope you're enjoying the summer. Stay healthy, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.